Ladies and gentlemen, we're looking at Dawn Chorus today, the new exotic helmet for the Warlocks. Usually I try to keep my exotic armor reviews around 5 minutes long. That's not gonna happen with this one. And when I look at this helmet, I have no words. Now it's pretty obvious that a lot of time and care went into designing this thing, but I can't ignore the nauseous feeling in my stomach that I get when I look at it. It's a little too over the top for my taste. If you haven't acquired this exotic yet, and you don't know how to get it, the new exotic armor pieces that were introduced with Beyond Light can be found in Legend and Master Tier Lost Sectors. These will either be in the Cosmodrome on Earth or on Europa, and they will rotate daily. Nice part is they tell you exactly what you're gonna find in them. So in this case, if you want Dawn Chorus, you'll need to complete the one that is offering exotic helmets. But we gotta get going because we got a lot to cover, not only with the exotic itself, but I did find some synergy with Polaris Lance. We're gonna have to talk about that also. But if at any point during the course of this video you do find yourself enjoying it, or find the information in it useful, feel free to hit the like button and the subscribe button to show your favorite Union Ironworker a little bit of support. But let's get into things with a good solid look at what exactly Dawn Chorus can do for us. The Dawn Chorus exotic helmet is crafted exclusively to work with our Dawnblade Warlock, more specifically top tree and bottom tree. But you'll find if you want to exercise the full capabilities of this exotic, you're probably going to want to be on bottom tree. The exotic perk is Rites of Ember, stating that your Daybreak projectiles will cause targets to burn on impact and deal more damage to them. All of your burn effects last longer, and that's false. We'll get into that in a minute, but you do gain a small amount of melee energy every time your burn damages a target. And this is why Dawn Chorus pairs best with bottom tree, because this is where our burn abilities are located. So what does this all mean exactly? Well, we're gonna start on bottom tree first, and look at the melee. At base, our melee hits for 4,903 points of damage versus this Colossus, and burns 5 times for 197 points of damage per tick. And just something to keep in mind as we move forward, if you do kill an enemy with the impact of a charged melee, they will explode and spread that burn effect to other targets. Now when we strike an enemy target with a charged melee while wearing Dawn Chorus, nothing changes except the amount of burn ticks. As many as 16 ticks of damage will be applied to a target, and every one of them will give you a little bit of melee energy back. Now I tested this energy refund on both tier 4 and tier 7 strength, and both saw the melee charge fully refreshed on the final damage tick. For a damage comparison here, at base, our melee dealt a total of 5,888 points of damage. With Dawn Chorus equipped, our melee damage is 7,991, a 35% increase. But this damage is dealt over a very long duration. Now when we tag an enemy target with our Solar Grenade, you're gonna see 2 distinct sets of numbers coming off the target. The larger numbers you see represent the physical damage from the area of effect damage field. The smaller numbers coming off the target are the burn damage. We do not see the extended damage over time like we saw with the charged melee, but we are getting melee energy refunded as the damage ticks on a target. And this only seems to work with the Solar Grenade. Neither the Firebolt Grenade or the Fusion Grenade apply a burn effect. Onto the super, and bottom tree Dawnblade has always been great for ad clearing, because your super energy is being refunded with each kill. You can really extend the duration of this super for quite a long time, if there's a high volume of ads in the area. But it's always come up just a little bit short in single target damage, and we'll see if Dawn Chorus can fix this issue. Alright, to start off, with no kills refreshing it, we can throw up to 8 charges before our super meter runs out. At base, each Dawnblade shot hits for a total of 25,427 points of damage, and this will pop in 3 individual sets of damage numbers on the target. With Dawn Chorus equipped, the initial blow will hit for the exact same damage. But now the target starts burning, and while it's affected by this burn, the super damage will be increased. Keep in mind it's only gonna burn for 5 ticks of damage, so you kinda gotta keep on the target to get max results. And with the second projectile, you can see that damage begin to ramp up, dealing 29,047 points of damage. On the third throw, you can see those damage numbers increase yet again, totaling 42,096 points of damage. Now, if I were to stop right here, that alone is a 63% increase in damage from the base super's single projectile. But it actually continues to ramp up. So, I had to go hunt down a bigger target. Now things here are pretty hectic, the damage numbers are kind of tough to see, and I think we are hitting for a little bit more damage than we were in the Lost Sector. But you can see those last two Dawnblade strikes are hitting for over 70,000 points of damage a piece. And I really wish I didn't have to ditch my controlled testing environment so I could give you some solid numbers or percentages here, but all I can say is that is a whole lot of damage. Now, on to Top Tree Dawnblade, and Dawn Chorus does work here also, but really, only the super is going to see the benefit from the exotic. With Top Tree Dawnblade, we can also throw a total of 8 projectiles. At base, a single projectile is going to hit for 20,555 points of damage, roughly 5,000 points of damage less than Bottom Tree. But with Dawn Chorus, once we get that burn rolling, the next cast is going to deal 29,803 points of damage. And the third Dawnblade throw is going to deal 43,215 points of damage. And the one that finally finishes off the target appears to land for 62,661 points of damage. Now the next cast may or may not hit for even more damage. I'm not 100% sure because as we saw in Bottom Tree, at some point the damage does cap. Now, super versus super, Top Tree actually appears to be doing more damage. But a little trick you can do with Bottom Tree Dawnblade to ramp your damage up even more is hit your target with a charged melee to get the burn rolling ahead of time. That way your first Dawnblade strike will deal the full buffed damage. That alone should give Bottom Tree the edge over the full duration of the super. And that's going to wrap it up for the supers. But, knowing that Necrotic Grips synergizes with Thorn, I couldn't stop here. I wanted to try to apply that improved burn through other avenues, since we do have some damage over time solar exotics. So, how about Polaris Lance? Here at base, we're seeing 5 damage ticks at 255 points of damage apiece, when the perfect 5th round explodes. And with Dawn Chorus equipped, no change, as my heart shatters into a tiny million pieces from disappointment. But then I realized that even though we're not seeing any extended burn time, my melee meter was climbing with each damage tick. So Polaris Lance's burn does synergize with Dawn Chorus. But I had to dig a little further. I did try this out with Jotun and thought I was seeing some positive results. But then I remembered that Jotun doesn't actually burn the target itself, it creates a little area of effect damage puddle on the floor that the target was standing in. And then I thought maybe any physically applied damage over time effect would boost that melee regen. And I know, I'm probably reaching a little bit, but play Monarch. 8 ticks of damage at 491 damage apiece. Same with Dawn Chorus. And no melee regeneration. And I did try out Thorn just for the smell of it, and no extra damage ticks or melee regeneration here either. But what if we get an enemy to explode and burn his buddies, like one of these Incendior targets? Well, sadly, no melee regen, no extra burn, so nothing here. But at least it is nice to see that Polaris Lance can feed your melee when using Dawn Chorus. This might help out a good deal if you're running Top Tree, because now you can use Polaris Lance's burn to feed your Celestial Fire. But how does Dawn Chorus fare in PvP? There's really not much sense in testing the super here, because it is an insta-kill on impact. But how about that melee? Are we going to see 16 ticks of burn damage in here also? Well, at base, a charged melee is hitting for 100 points of impact damage and 5 ticks of burn damage at 6 points of damage apiece. This is a total of 130 points of damage. When using Dawn Chorus, the burn duration runs out after 8 damage ticks. So this will deal 148 points of damage to an enemy target over 3.5 seconds. And here we are also seeing the benefit from the Solar Grenade, not in the form of extra damage ticks, but our melee meter is being refreshed as the damage ticks on the enemy Guardian. So yeah, that was a little more testing than I initially thought I was gonna have to do. So I'm just gonna give you a pretty quick rundown on my thoughts on this exotic's performance, and then I'll get you out of here. Alright, in PvE, if you already liked running Bottom Tree Dawnblade, this exotic is absolutely perfect for you. If you're someone who's always enjoyed running Top Tree Dawnblade and just wish that the super wasn't terrible in PvE, this exotic helps out a great deal. If you're someone who's always shied away from either skill tree because the boss damage just wasn't there, it is now. Both are putting out damage that's higher than I may have ever seen. This is a lot of damage. And with Bottom Tree, if you're damaging a boss and there happen to be some ads surrounding them, this can probably get pushed even higher due to the bump in super energy on a kill, maybe granting you an extra cast or two. I mean, Dawn Chorus seems to turn Bottom Tree Dawnblade into what was just a reliable ad clearing tool into one of the most versatile Warlock skill trees in the game. And for top tree, it's not a PvP only subclass anymore. I would compare Dawn Chorus on a Dawnblade to Geomag Stabilizers on a Middle Tree Stormcaller, but I think the damage increase is even stronger. And a little added bonus, there are 3 solar based mods in the artifact this season, so this can help you build out a solar subclass a little bit more. But in PvP, sadly, you're probably not going to catch me running this too often. The biggest benefit that I see that we're gaining is the increased melee uptime. And you can get a lot of melee uptime if you play your cards right. But going from 130 points of damage to 148 points of damage isn't really enticing me to use this exotic in the Crucible. Now the extended burn time could be nice because it does pause an enemy's health regen until the burn ticks out. And maybe in certain scenarios this could keep an enemy from pulling power ammo or reviving an ally in elimination or trials. But I really don't think the benefits of using Dawn Chorus in PvP justify replacing a different exotic piece that could be doing a little bit more for you. So in summary, I do love this exotic in PvE, not simply because of the high super damage output, but I feel like I can finally justify running a solar subclass that isn't just a Well of Radiance machine. And I've been having a lot of fun running Stasis currently, but this helmet might just get me to put it down for a little while. I was a little underwhelmed with it in PvP, but it's not all that often that we find an exotic that really excels in both sides of the game. And unless this ramping super damage in PvP is bugged and doing more damage than intended, because, you know, us Warlocks do like to break the game, right? I think Dawn Chorus is going to be a top tier choice for PvE. But if you did enjoy this video, please remember to leave it a like and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more content similar to this. If you'd like to catch me live, you can look for Ironworker814 on Twitch. I'm not on all that often, but if you drop me a follow, you'll get notified whenever I am. And to contact me, simply comment down below and I'll be sure to get back to you. And with all that being said, I'd like to thank you for taking the time out of your day to check out this armor review. You guys are awesome, and I will catch you on the next one.